How's it going, Can Crushers? Welcome to another episode of the Crushing Cans UFC post-weigh-in update show. Tonight we're talking about UFC Fight Night Vegas 6, Derek Lewis versus Alexei Oleinik. Let's jump into the fight card.
Let's do it.
For the first fight of the night, we have Irwin Rivera versus Ali Al-Kaisi. This one's at 135 pounds. Both guys made weight. We had Irwin Rivera weighing in at 136 pounds, and then Ali Al-Kaisi weighed in at 136 pounds as well.
Yeah. Did you see anything that might have swayed your pick a little bit, or are you sticking with it?
No, I'm sticking with all my picks, actually. So throughout the night, I went through, I looked at some of the stuff. I honestly considered changing a couple of them, but I'm
and you'll
sticking
see
with
why
everybody.
as we get through the rest of these weeks.
Yeah, I stuck with everybody, and we'll see what ends up happening. You want to talk about the next one here?
Yeah, so in the next event, we have Yusuf Zalal weighing in at 146 pounds versus Peter Barrett.
Yeah.
Weighed in at another 145 and a half. So
Yep.
both guys are on point.
Yep.
Fight's ready to go.
I still got Peter Barrett winning. And
I still have Zalal.
Yusuf Zalal. All right, so then we go on to the next one. The next one was Gavin Tucker versus Justin James, the Guitar Hero. Like I said in the breakdown show, I'm really excited about this fight. Both guys made weight. They both weighed in at 146 pounds.
Yeah. And then, you get up through the next one. Andrew Sanchez, 185 and a half, made weight versus Wellington Turman. And I've been telling you guys,
You're
been
big
pretty
on
big
him.
on Wellington Turman. Yeah. Both guys weighed in 185 and a half. So the fight looks like it's a go and should be a good one.
Yeah. And this was another one that I was potentially considering changing my fight pick. I'm still big on Sanchez. I think Turman's good. And he's definitely the favorite right now. I do have a feeling, though, that Sanchez is going to get this right now. And I did realize I picked a lot of underdogs on this card.
A lot of underdogs. Even then, if you really look at the underdogs versus the favorites, it's really a lot closer than these odds are saying. Almost every single one of these fights, it's really hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah, well, we said that in our show, right?
Exactly.
It was really close. And I was looking at some of the odds on these, and I don't agree with a lot of the odds.
No. So, I mean, if you can get a good underdog at a big number, I mean, why not?
Well, yeah.
I feel like the fights are that close.
Well, let's look at the next one right here.
Yeah.
So this next one, this one is the Nasrat Haqparast one versus Alex Munoz. Mm-hmm. This one right here, Alex Munoz is a plus 202 underdog when I was looking at him earlier on mybookie.com. Mm-hmm. So when I was looking on MyBookie, he was a plus 202 underdog. I'm not convinced that Haqparast is that much better than Munoz. I looked at the videos, I've watched the striking. Munoz has pretty good striking. He doesn't always use it. He goes to his wrestling a lot. That's because he's most dominant there. I just don't think that Haqparast is that much better than him. I know people talk about the elite striking, but he looked average against Drew Dober, and he looked average against Joaquim Silva up until the point that he beat Joaquim Silva. So I'm not really super convinced that his striking is that much better that he can stop Munoz from taking him down. So I still have Munoz.
I still have Haqparast.
Yeah.
It's just another one of those things. I think it's a lot closer than people are thinking, but I just think Haqparast has the edge. Yeah. And we're going to find out. I don't think that...
he's definitely the favorite.
Yeah, I don't think that Munoz is that big of a dog. So, no. Like I said, if you can get in on a good dog, you might as well take it.
Yeah. So yeah. The next fight right here, we have Kevin Holland. This one, remember, this was a last-minute replacement one versus Joaquin Buckley. But Joaquin Buckley just fought about a week ago. Mm-hmm. Well, a little bit more than a week ago now, right?
Yeah, I think it's July 31st, actually. Yeah, so not even a week ago.
Well, not that long ago. So he just fought, came up with the W. Kevin Holland was supposed to fight on the last fight card, but his opponent was not able to fight because of heart issues or something like that. He passed out before coming out to the fight.
Yeah, Giles passed out, and
then they went through some medical stuff, said that there was an irregularity with his heart, so he's going to deal with that. They rebooked Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland weighed in good,
under 185.
Yeah, he weighed
limit.
in under. He weighed in at 183.5. Joaquin weighed in at 185. Both guys should be in shape. This should be an exciting fight. Really happy about that one.
It's going to be another fun one.
Yeah, my pick still stays the same. Still sticking with Holland.
Yeah, still sticking with Holland.
Yeah. You want to talk about the next one?
So, next we got coming up, we got Tim Means versus Laureano Staropoli.
Yeah.
This one, Staropoli missed weight, 174 and a half.
Yeah.
Tim Means also missed weight.
Yep.
172.5. I know they did give him an hour to try to cut down. Staropoli said he's just going to stop.
He's just going to stop.
Means did get another hour to try to cut down, but he didn't make it,
No, he did. He made the
Did he make it?
171-pound limit. Yep, and Staropoli will forfeit 20% of his purse to Tim Means.
All right.
So we only have officially 2 people who missed weight on this fight card. I picked Staropoli to win. I'm not changing that pick.
No, and if anything, I mean, with Means taking that extra hour to cut that extra pound, that should sway your pick probably more into the favor of Staropoli anyway.
Potentially,
but
yeah.
For me,
but it's like the stat that you talked about last week, where in recent fights you've had more guys that are missing weight losing the fights.
Yeah, we did have that.
Although the one that missed weight last week won, so that gives a little bit more towards that one. But exciting fight. This is going to be a striker's fight, but I think that Staropoli still takes it.
Yeah, I think Staropoli knocks him out.
Yeah, yep. And then we move on to the main card. Really excited about this main card. The first fight's going to be an exciting fight. This one was Beneil Dariush versus Scott Holtzman. Unfortunately, Dariush missed weight. He weighed in at 158 pounds. It was a 155-pound weight class. They do give the pound allowance, and Scott Holtzman made 156. So he's on weight. Dariush misses weight. He'll forfeit 20% of his purse over to Holtzman. The fight is still on. Still excited about it. My pick doesn't change. Still sticking with Dariush by submission.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Dariush in this one as well. I don't really know that it was too much of a weight issue. I didn't see too much there. I think he just didn't want to drain himself that extra 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And just decided to go for that win because obviously the UFC, they haven't really punished people for missing weight too badly, but they do punish you when you lose. So
yeah, I mean, you're getting punished by taking that 20% anyway.
Right, you lose the 20%, but it's even more if you end up losing and getting cut.
Although they did cut Spicely.
Yes, they did recently cut Spicely. That is an update.
But Spicely's was a quite a bit of a different circumstance.
Yeah.
You know, he showed up way overweight, like 24, 25 pounds overweight or something like that. Didn't even get close, you know. So they say, hey, you're not going to make it to he calls up the UFC, tells them, I'm not going to make 185, negotiates a 195-pound catch limit weight there, and he's not even going to break 210. I think it was 209 was the lowest he got down to or something like that. Before the fight was called off, he started blacking out. Doctors called off the fight. He blamed the medication for antidepressants. But in all reality, I'm going to say it's a discipline issue and not an antidepressant issue. When you show up a couple weeks early and you're that far overweight and you really don't make that much of an attempt to get down to weight, you can't blame the medication. It's a lack of discipline.
Yeah.
So I don't blame the UFC for cutting him in that instance.
No.
But
next,
it happens.
Yeah, it does happen. So, but we're both sticking with Dariush. And so we move on to the next one. We got Yana Kunitskaya weighing in at 135.5 pounds versus Yulia Stolyarenko, who also weighed in at 136. So that fight's good to go. Yep,
still good to go. Both people looked pretty good, I felt like.
Still sticking with Yana?
Definitely still sticking with Yana.
Definitely
still sticking with Yana, but Yulia is tough, man.
I told you, man.
You know, we'll see what ends up happening there.
Did you guys go watch that her last fight in Invicta?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that thing was brutal. I told you, go watch it again.
Versus Lisa Versosa?
Yep.
That's a good one. And then we move on to the 185-pound weight class. We have Darren Stewart versus Maki Pitolo. Both guys make the weight limit at 186 pounds. Fight's on. Good to go.
Yeah, another fun one. Still sticking with Stewart, and you got Pitolo, right?
Yep, I still got Pitolo. First round knockout.
Yeah, this is gonna be that's gonna be another crazy one, man. Go watch our pick'em video if you guys really want a breakdown of that fight. I picked Stewart. You picked Pitolo.
Yep.
This thing's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. You want to talk about the next one?
And moving on, we've got the legend Chris Weidman weighing in at 186 pounds, dropping back down to middleweight.
Yep. After an unsuccessful run to 205.
Well, after a failed 205 attempt. You know, and he actually looked pretty good. Yeah. But this fight, so I told you guys I wanted to see what he looked like at the weigh-ins, right? Mm-hmm. Weidman looked healthy. He didn't look super drained. He didn't look bad. He looked big and strong. But Akhmedov looked like a beast, dude. He is a beast. More shredded than I've seen him before. like he looked like an absolute animal. He looked jacked. His every single muscle was shredded. He was muscles on muscles, and like he just looked brutal, man. But you know, this is going to be Akhmedov's biggest challenge at 185. I think he's currently 3-0 at 185 pounds right now.
Yeah. I think it's 3. It might be 3-0-1.
You know,
but yeah.
And this is going to be the first time that, you know, I'm not trying to take away from Akhmedov because he is a beast and he's a monster, but he's not those fighters on death row that Weidman's gone through in like his last 8 fights.
No,
so, I mean, I think this is a step down in competition for Weidman, which is what he needs.
He definitely needs that.
And it's a huge step up in competition for Akhmedov. I think it's going to be a really, really good fight, and I'm still sticking with Weidman by decision in this one.
All right. Well, nothing changes for me. I'm still sticking with Akhmedov. I still think that Weidman's chinny, and I still think he's going to get knocked out. So that's that fight. You know, I love Weidman. I just want him to retire. I just want him to retire and be done. Then we move on to the main event. Derek, my balls is hot Lewis versus Alexei the Boa Constrictor Oleinik.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about this one. Oleinik looked pretty lean. 227?
Yeah, he weighed in at 227.5 for the Verdum fight, you know. He's been slimming down a little bit there, and 227 again, and I think that lighter weight is helping him stay fresh at 43 years old.
Yeah, well, and he's going against Derek Lewis, who made 265.
Yeah, he weighed in at 265 on the dot.
266 would be the limit with the allowance. I'm curious if he had to cut at all, or if he just kind of maintained his weight around there. I know some people are saying, oh, he had to cut down, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah, he might have. I think his last fight he weighed like 264.5 or something like that. So he's a big dude either way.
He is a big dude. But, you know, for a person who has to work on weight management and cutting weight, you know, there's a difference between weight management and cutting weight. And if you're a big guy and you know you got a fight coming up, you're really just working on weight management for the most part, unless you're a guy like Brock Lesnar. Right. You know, Brock Lesnar's a guy who really has to cut weight. So, you know, most guys don't, though.
Yeah,
and
most heavyweights don't, period.
Lewis is a guy that carries a little bit extra on him all the time anyway, so his would really just be a slight bit of weight management for him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Fight's still on. Nothing changes for me. I think Lewis is going to gas out fast, and Oleinik's going to submit him.
Yeah, I still have Oleinik.
I don't see anything changing.
Yeah, I still have Oleinik grinding him out in the first couple rounds, and then tapping him out eventually when he's gassed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because he's still pretty good defender there in the first opening part of the round, you know. When he's got all his energy, he's still a really good. He defends submissions pretty decently.
And you know, to be honest, that's where Oleinik has to be careful.
Exactly.
I think that Oleinik's going to want to take him down fast, because where Lewis is dangerous at is when he's fresh and it's in that first round. You know, when he's got the ability, he's got the ability to knock you out at any time with one punch because he's that big. But you know, if you want to look at where he's throwing high volume, where he's most dangerous at, the biggest threat of a knockout it's going to be early in that first round.
Yep.
So I think that Oleinik's going to need to close that distance and get him down fast.
Yeah, he's going to look to get him down, and I think he's just going to look to get him down, grind it out, and tap him out eventually.
Yeah.
Just depends on which round.
He might even pull guard on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because he does that when he does his little darts, or it's not a dart, what's the choke that he likes, the Ezekiel choke. I think it's the Ezekiel, right? He does the Ezekiel choke, and he'll pull you down on top of him to do it. So he might end up just pulling him in. He might just get close, tie him up, and force it down by pulling himself down. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
Tomorrow night, I'm excited about it.
So that's the post-weigh-in updates for you?
Yeah, so make sure you guys tune in 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for the prelims. And then the main card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Pacific. Both those are on ESPN+. Check those out. Let us know what you think. Comment on this video. Comment on our other videos. And tell us what your picks are. Tell us how you did and what you like and don't like.
Join our group at tapology.com/group/434.
On that note, keep crushing those cans, can crushers.